I just wanted to do it. That was the only reason. Where Wilson gave the brutal spree that left Capcom in shock. No motive, no rumors, just a cold, calculated desire for a job. But while the justice system demands his life, the internet is fighting to save it from his recent Supreme Court appeals to the dark psychology of Hybristophilia. This is the file they don't want you to close. Welcome to the dark files. He has the name of Marvel superhero. He has the tattoos of cinematic villains. And today, in 2026, he has a fan club that spans the globe. But on October 7th, 2019, Wade Wilson wasn't a character in a movie. He was a predator in the real world. To understand the allure that social media is currently obsessed with, we must first look at the cold, hard atrocity of that October night. It started with Kristine Melton. After meeting Wilson at a live music bar, she made what would be a fatal mistake. She invited him home. As she slept in the place where she should have been safest, Wilson strangled her to death. But he wasn't done. This wasn't a crime of passion. It was a spree. Wilson stole Kristine's car and began hunting. He found Diane Ruiz walking to work. He lured her into the car under the guise of asking for directions. He strangled her, pushed her out into the pavement, and then, in a detail that still haunts the Capcom community, he ran her over repeatedly. When later asked why, he told his biological father, Stephen Testeska, that he wanted her to look like Spectre. There was no robbery. There was no revenge. There was no reason. In the way the human brain tries to find logic in tragedy. When Testeska asked his son why he did it, Wilson's response was chillingly simple. I just want to do it. Fast forward to the 2010 2024 trial. This is where the story shifts from a local tragedy to a global digital phenomenon. When Wade Wilson walked into that courtroom, he didn't look like a man facing the needle. He looked like he was at a high fashion photo shoot. Beside the swastika tattoos on his face and the Joker style scare stitched across his mouth. The internet didn't require. Instead, it landed in platforms like TikTok and Instagram began to flood with fan cams, stylized edits of Wilson's mimicking at the prosecution adjusted to slow reverb's music. People become obsessed with his smog face energy and his deep monotone voice. Why? Criminologists point to a psychological phenomenon called Hybristophilia, colloquially known as Bonnie and Clyde syndrome. It is the clinical attraction to those who committed gruesome crime. But in the age of 2026, it has solved involved. Experts suggest it stems from a desire for ultimate control. You can love a killer behind bars because you control the narrative. He is a dangerous alpha who is safely caged, unable to hurt you, making him the ultimate project for those who think they can fix him. No, we have to look at why this case is exploding on your feed right now. In March 2026, Wade Wilson isn't just sitting quietly on death row at Union Correctional. He is at the center of a constitutional firestorm. Wilson isn't appealing his guilt. He admitted to the killings. He is appealing his punishment. In 2023, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a law that changed the game. Previously, a jury had to be anonymous 12-0 to recommend the death penalty. The new law lowered that threshold to 8 to 4 in Wilson case. The jury wasn't unanimous. As of February 2026, Wilson's lawyers have taken this to the US Supreme Court. Their argument is pivotal. They claim that applying this 8 to 4 rule to crimes committed before the law was passed is a violation of the ex post facto clause of the Constitution. If the Supreme Court agrees with the Wilson, it wasn't just be his sentence that changed. It could trigger a domino effect, overturning the death sentence of dozens of inmates across Florida. While the legal system debates the teeth of a jury split, Wilson's army of supporters has raised thousands of dollars for his legal fund to his victims' families. This is the ultimate insult. Seeing a man who showed on mercy being championed as a victim of the system, while the internet edits video of Ware Wilson. We must remember the reality behind the fan cams. For the families of Kristine, Melton, and Diane Ruiz, there is no dark allure. There's only a life sentence of grief. During the sentencing phase, Diane Ruiz's family described a sadness that swallows you whole. They spoke of the empty chair at the dinner table and the birthdays that will never be celebrated. For them, Ware Wilson isn't a misunderstood anti-hero. He is the man who turned their world into a nightmare just because he felt like it. Ware Wilson once told the court he would make a statement when he is back, whether that means back in the courtroom or back in the headlines. One thing is certain: the dark files on this case are far from closed. The big question, so I have to ask you, is the obsessions with men like Wilson's a failure of your education system, Or is it a biological glitch in human nature that we simply can't overturn? And more importantly, legal technicalities aside, do you believe an anonymous jury should have the power to take a life? Drop your theories in the comments. I will be hurting the most insightful responses. If you found the deep dive valuable, hit the like button and the subscribe to the Dark Files, because where there is light, there is always a shadow.